All right, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Have been on in a couple of weeks, and here's the interesting thing. Interesting thing is we've seen a lot of changes in the last several months as far as what's going on in the villages. I'm going to share with you a couple of things about what we're doing with local veterans. We're doing that. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things that's going on in the real estate market, maybe a few tips as well. And so let's go into it. I want to show you what's going on with the real estate market right now in the villages. This will give you an idea of what's happening. Right now, we've got 313 properties that are on the market right now. Remember, if you go back to some of the videos before, that I did earlier on this year, we were approaching 400, and people are like, oh my God, it's going to hit 500. We're going straight through the roof. Well, now, over the last 60, 90 days, that inventory has gone down. That inventory has gone down, which means that properties that have sat on the market, that were having longer days on market, are now selling. We're seeing that. And in a few cases, we've seen multiple offers, especially with like homes with a pool. Or they've got a golf course view if they're priced pretty correctly and a little bit aggressively. It's actually working out pretty well for those sellers. And I'm seeing that there's still a sufficient amount of properties that are on the market that there's enough to choose from, right? So let's take a look at what I'm showing you here is basically average sales price. If we were to look at over the last 5 years, we're seeing, prices from 286, January of 2018. Now the average sales price 402, right? Like that's something that we're seeing. And of course, it was a little bit higher third quarter of last year, and then went down. And then, February of this year was a low, and then it's picked up again. So basically, that's what we're seeing. We've talked about this, a little bit of a trough in the marketplace as far as number of sales. Inventory was also going up at that same time, and now inventory is settling down in a nice way. So that's really a good thing. Seeing some positive things there for sure. So one thing that we're doing is we are sponsoring a 9/11 remembrance, the 10th annual remembrance, and I'm going to let's see if I can do another share screen with you. Basically, you can sign up now. It's a 10th annual 9/11 remembrance supporting our local veterans and first responders. And let me do a share screen so you can actually see exactly what that is. Let's look at that. And so if you have a chance if you want to participate in that, our agent Denise Testi is doing it. So Denise, thank you so much for doing that. Here's Denise's information. Her mobile number is 561-351-7756 or 352-619-3446. And this is the link here to register or sponsor the golf tournament. It's una-usa.org, una-usa.org. And whole sponsorship is available. Or if you want to participate in some way, it's going to be, they've got tee times for the 8th, 9th, and the 12th. 8th, 9th, and the 12th. So you can do that. I think it's something that's super worthwhile. Obviously, we do a lot of things like this. I like to give more and more exposure to events like this. I think that's a thing for sure. Also, obviously, we're doing the Alzheimer's event, the walk that's coming up in October. So if you're interested in participating, please connect with our office with either one, by the way, either event, 352-753-7500. That's our office, 352-753-7500. We do real estate, we do rentals, of course, and that type of thing. But, overall, as far as the market goes, really optimistic with what I'm seeing right now. Optimistic with what I'm seeing, where inventory has gone down and demand is pretty steady. So if we were to look at like the 7-day numbers, which is like the last 7 days, 30 new listings in the villages on MLS, price increases 3, price decreases 42, which has been very normal. The new listing amount is kind of light for a 7-day number. And then pending number is 42, which is a very normal number. I think the amount of new listings coming on the market is a little bit light. I think that's the biggest difference. And that's been pretty typical for the last 4 weeks. Okay. One thing I want to share with you, a couple of tips. So obviously, when you're choosing a realtor, look for the realtor that has a plan, whether they're on the buyer side or the seller side. Oh, obviously, we always recommend home inspection, termite inspection, if necessary. If a seller's property disclosure indicates that there was some kind of flood or water intrusion, then maybe a mold inspection. But typically, it's not necessary unless you're spotting something in the home inspection. So get those two things first: home inspection and termite inspection. I will tell you that on the buyer side, I would, or actually on the seller side rather, I would be careful with having people, having a realtor allow you to say, okay, let's wait for the buyer. Let's allow the buyer to do this. In other words, you've got well-worn carpeting in your home, and you expect the buyer to take care of it, right? Let's let the buyer take care of this. And you're thinking it's okay because I don't want the expense. And, by the way, you never know what the buyer's going to want. We don't know what their color is. I've heard that a lot. My agents talk about this. And I think that's a mistake. So anytime we do that, we're really making a mistake because we are saying, buyer, you take care of this. Well, buyers like the opposite. Just like you don't want to do it, buyers don't want to have to do it. And guess what? They're bringing the money to the table. So if they don't have to do it, that's worth something to them. Or it's going to be worth less if they have to take care of it. So better to take care of things, better to, repair, replace, whatever you need to do to actually make it like it's in mint condition where a buyer can just move in. You're going to be in great shape. Those are the homes that are actually selling. So keep that in mind. If you have questions for me, I'm the broker here at Realty Executives in the Villages. 352-572-3796, 352-572-3796. And if you have questions about the 9/11 Remembrance golf tournament that's coming up, please let our office know at 352-753-7500.